During the 1980s, horror movie monsters were in the midst of a renaissance. Freddy Krueger, Leatherface and Jason Voorhees were carving their way into popular culture, much like the Universal monsters did back in the 1950s and 60s. By the late 1980s, this new monster movie boom was reaching its peak, and it brought with it a fascinating new genre interest in movie makeup, which was further popularised by Fangoria magazine. Seeing potential in a genre mashup concept, creator Mel Bernkrant devised a boys action figure line that was centred on a master of makeup and special effects. It was a genius idea and one that could have been developed into one of the great action figure lines of the 1980s, but it was not to be. The story of MAXX is really the story of the greatest action figure line that never came to be. Hello toy fans, my name is Tony and welcome to an Analog Toys special feature. MAXX, the world's best R-rated action figure. Toy enthusiast and designer Mel Bernkrant first started developing the MAXX concept in 1988. The character of MAXX was a makeup and special effects expert who was capable of assuming a multitude of fantastic identities. He travels around the city in his mobile movie van using his special effects to fight crime. His secret makeup formula miraculously bestows upon him all the superpowers of each character he portrays.
Lights, camera, action! There's a man called Max, he's into special effects. Special effects! Hey Fred, thought you were dead, put your face on. Jason, special effects! Special effects! Going werewolf to the caveman, looks so fine like Frankenstein. Special effects! Special effects! Dracula, spectacular! Coming soon, creature from the Black Lagoon. Watch out, my man coming out of your tummy! Yeah, the alien! Get your hands on the man called Max. He's got special effects! Special effects! Max FX costumes, figures, and special FX theater, each sold separately. New from Matchbox.
Looking back now, the MAXX concept seems like such a naturally brilliant idea. I'm amazed no one thought of it before. The early prototypes for Max were made from old 12-inch G.I. Joe action figures. Mel Bernkrant sculpted new heads for each of the figures and adapted clothing from different toy lines. By applying the various sculpted prosthetics designed for each identity, Max could be turned into Freddy Krueger. In early incarnations, MAXX was actually called Max Miracle, and Mel Bernkrant also had plans to develop his Miracle Productions movie van to be a sort of mobile headquarters for Max's crime-fighting adventures. The MAXX concept was a solid one, which had enormous potential. I know I would have enjoyed it as a kid. I think the biggest hurdle would have been securing the rights to all the various movie likenesses. But that wouldn't be Mel Bernkrant's problem. That would be the problem of whichever toy company decided to pick up the property. And this is where things started to go very, very wrong. Enter English toy manufacturer Matchbox, best known for their die-cast toy cars. Although Matchbox was a British company, they had an office located in New Jersey, not too far away from Mel Bernkrant's partner. Matchbox were the first company to see the MAXX presentation, and, as fate would have it, they bought the concept. Mel admits that he never understood why Matchbox purchased the property. It seemed that company executives didn't get the concept from the outset, and they had never heard of Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, so initially those characters were dropped in favour of much more outdated characters like vampires and the creature from the Black Lagoon. To make matters worse, Matchbox had discovered a warehouse full of surplus 9-inch tall Mego figures, which they decided to use as a cheaper alternative to manufacturing an original 12-inch MAXX action figure. A figure which Mel always dreamed would be high quality and well articulated. As Matchbox approached Toy Fair 1989, Mel Bernkrant's involvement with MAXX grew smaller and smaller. I can only imagine how sad it must have been for him to see his baby so poorly mishandled by company executives that clearly didn't understand the concept from the outset. At the Toy Fair, Matchbox had a decent catalogue and they even shelled out cash for a commercial. But all the potential toy buyers were asking, where's Freddy Krueger? He's so hot right now. Clearly the buyers understood the concept far better than Matchbox ever did. The reaction to this was that Freddy Krueger was pushed forward as the headline product for the entire line, but Matchbox took things too far. Their newfound knowledge of Freddy's popularity inspired them to release a talking Freddy Krueger doll.
Welcome to Elm Street. Let's be friends.
And the public reaction to this doll was less than positive. The MAXX version of Freddy Krueger showed children that this was nothing more than movie makeup. But the talking Freddy Krueger doll, on the other hand, well, that put a homicidal child murderer into the hands of young children. The public outcry was understandably intense, and the majority of product was pulled from retail shelves. None of the other MAXX figures ever made it to toy stores, and it's a real shame. The character of Freddy Krueger is known as the son of 100 maniacs, and I believe those maniacs must have worked for Matchbox.